doing bearded dragon phoenix. Bearded dragon phoenixes, they are omnivores, so they can eat fruit, vegetables, or they like insects. So first thing to go ahead and do is go to the back room. You're gonna find a container. Hopefully it'll say bearded dragon on it. Again, like with all our animals, they may poop or pee. It's a lot easier to clean up if you line the bottom with some paper towels. So, got that set up. Bearded dragons, again, you don't want them to think they're flying because their legs are not supported. To open this up, you're gonna push the button down. It's like a barn door. It opens up, and let them know that you're there so you don't startle them. And then one hand in the front legs, one hand at the back legs, and then your thumbs over the top. It may look kind of pokey, but it's not really bad. So we'll go ahead and put him in there and make sure he doesn't crawl out. So he is set while we work on his cage. Now for him, we make kind of a salad and put things on it, but this one is dried out. You can kind of go, would you want to eat it? No, it's dried out. It's not appetizing anymore. So we don't want to put leftover food down the sinks. Nothing goes down a sink except for water. So we're going to need to go ahead and sanitize this with some disinfectant. And guys, some of those carrots are kind of stuck on there. When things are stuck, don't just give up and leave them on there. Let it just soak for a little bit. It'll enable the dried fruit or vegetables to come off. Water, again, a biofilm builds up in there. So we're gonna dump that water off, give it a spray. Again, every sink should have a brush. Get that biofilm off. Give it a good rinse. We don't want them to taste that disinfectant. And then we got some tap water. That's going to be sufficient. Wow. Those vegetables came right off. Yes. And again, if they don't go down the little holes, you got to make sure you grab a paper towel and fish whatever you left in that sink out. All right, so we've got water, fresh water after it's been disinfected. We've got a good food bowl. We're taking a look. Is there any poop? Is there any uric acid? Nope, that's all clean. His other hidey spot, same thing. Yep, that's paper towel. Oh, there's a little bit. Yep, that's just flaking off paint. That's all clean. If it wasn't clean, spray disinfectant, scrub it. Now we're gonna go ahead and take newspapers. The newspapers had a little yellowish on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. And then there's a mealworm crawling around. I'm gonna grab him. And again, if you don't want to pick them up with your fingers, use a forceps. I'm gonna throw him back in the culture. And now it's time to disinfect with spray. Make sure if there's any uric acid or poop in the corners, take a paper towels. Okay, so take basically a scraper if you need to get some corners if there's some poop or pee. So we got some paper towels. Take your time, get all in the corners. And guys, sometimes it's gonna take more than once to spray it to be able to get everything out that fell underneath. And again, 4 layers of newspaper is best. That way if they poop or pee, it doesn't disintegrate. We can just use it to wipe it up. All right, newspapers, voila, about 4 sheets thick. And again, don't let it climb the wall. Make it like wall-to-wall carpet. All right, once we got the newspapers in, then again, if these needed to be cleaned, hopefully you got them all clean. This one goes underneath the light. This is a UV light. He likes to bask under it. It keeps his bones strong. It's kind of like you guys. Calcium does nothing unless you make vitamin D to put that calcium in your bones so you don't get brittle bones. So we're gonna put that where you can climb up. That's a little hidey spot over there. His water, we don't want it under the lamp. The lamp will cause it to evaporate, so we're gonna kind of put it away from the lamp. And now it's time to make his food. All right, so you could use different types of greens. We're gonna go ahead and basically have about a handful of greens that are cut up, not too small. We don't need them that small. You can kind of see how big they are. So we're gonna get some greens that he could eat. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you can kind of see there's a pile right there. Then we're gonna look for a vegetable. So I have some peas here. They're thawed out. Don't ever feed a reptile something frozen, because that frozen food will go into the stomach, freeze their stomach dies, becomes necrotic, and they'd end up dying because they don't have a stomach anymore. So we'll put a little peas on there. Then we'll look for a fruit. His favorite fruit is blueberries. So we're gonna go ahead and add a few blueberries. So now we've got fruit, vegetable, some fruit, vegetable, and greens. And then you could have used some, carrot. Okay, if you're gonna use carrot, he doesn't have big teeth. The only thing that has bigger teeth is the rabbit. A rabbit could eat a carrot like this. Everything else, we're gonna use a peeler, and you would just peel a little bit on top. Okay, that's pretty much everything in here's got little teeth. The rabbit could have a whole carrot, but otherwise we go ahead and do that. If we were gonna use apple, okay, apple peel, just put it in your head, apple peel has pesticides in it. So, and we're not even sure if we can get it completely cleaned off. So we will peel our apples and only use the inside of the apple. And we can make that pretty small. Usually one fruit, one vegetable, but I'll put another one on there so you can see we peel apples for everybody in here. Croutons. Our croutons are not, oh, that one's not a good one. Our croutons are not the same as for him. So he really likes mealworms. So again, you could use the forceps or you can just dig in. They're not gonna bite. And I'm gonna put about 4 of these on here. Our bearded dragon is got a little extra weight. We can see it in his neck. He's got a little thicker neck, a little fold in his neck, so he's not nutritionally lacking. And then a dusting, not much. It's barely, there we go, that's it. Not much at all. It's like barely a dusting. It's not a snowstorm. So we've got his salad made up. It's not a lot. He's got his mealworms, and then we're gonna, again, it's a salad, we're gonna put it away from the light so it doesn't dry it out. If you think it's gonna dry out, isn't it, you can go ahead and make that salad a little bit damp so it's got a little longer life in there. And now we're ready for our dragon. Again, the key is don't let them just float in the air. Get the front feet secure, the back feet underneath, and your thumbs on top. And again, I usually point the animals toward their new food so they can potentially eat it while it's fresh. So the salad station, usually we'll get that wrapped up. Zach's gonna go ahead and clean it up, but you peeled an apple, just get it in the trash, okay? And don't leave it a complete mess. Make it somewhat orderly before you leave. Again, make sure before you put him in, take some time, look at his eyes, his ears, his nose, his mouth, look at his body, make sure everything looks healthy. Spend a little time holding him. Get him used to being held, because they're gonna be out a long time when we go ahead and present to elementary kids. So we wanna make sure they're used to being held. And then of course you fill out their chart, and either Zach or a teacher is gonna sign off on your chart, and that way you get your points for animal care that day. Don't forget, with every animal, when you are finished, you've gone ahead, that's clean, put the tubs back where you found them in the back room, and the very last thing is wash your hands with soap and water.